Jupiter takes 12 years to circle the zodiac, 12 years to complete one orbit around the Sun. It is the largest planet in the solar system, 11 times the diameter of Earth, with a mass greater than all the other planets combined. Its gravity shapes the trajectory of asteroids. Its magnetic field is the largest structure in the solar system after the Sun itself. When Jupiter moves, the solar system organizes around it. And tomorrow, for a few hours, Jupiter stops. Its apparent motion against the background stars reaches zero. The great expander, the planet of growth and faith and forward momentum, stands completely still at 15 degrees Cancer. And in that stillness, something extraordinary becomes available. Not movement, not expansion, something rarer. The pause before the push, the held breath before the exhale. The precise moment when a river that has been flowing backwards resumes its natural course. Jupiter has been retrograde since December 11th. For nearly 4 months, the planet of expansion has been moving backward through Cancer, the sign of home, family, emotional security, and the roots of belonging. When Jupiter is retrograde, expansion turns inward. Growth does not stop, but it reverses direction. Instead of expanding outward into the world, you expand inward into yourself. Questions that Jupiter retrograde in Cancer has been asking since December: what is home really? Not the address, the feeling. Where do you actually belong? Not where you are expected to belong, where your nervous system settles. What does security mean now that the old definition has been outgrown? What nourishes you, and what have you been calling nourishment that is actually just habit? These are not casual questions. They are foundational. Cancer is the foundation of the chart, the fourth house, the bottom of the sky. It is what everything else is built on. When Jupiter retrogrades through Cancer, the foundation itself is being expanded from the inside. Not demolished, not rebuilt, expanded. Like a house that discovers it has rooms it did not know about, rooms that were always there, behind walls that were never opened. Tomorrow, Jupiter stations direct. The inward expansion completes, and the outward expansion resumes. But here is what most astrology channels miss about stations. The day before the station is more powerful than the station itself, because the day before is the day of absolute stillness, zero velocity. The planet is neither retrograde nor direct. It is suspended between two states, and in that suspension, everything Jupiter represents, every question it has been asking, every room it discovered behind the walls, becomes crystallized, frozen in place long enough for you to see it clearly. In astronomy, a station is the moment when a planet's apparent motion against the background stars reaches zero before reversing direction. Imagine watching a train from a hillside. As it approaches, it seems to grow larger and faster. At the closest point, there is one instant where it appears to hang in space, neither approaching nor receding. Then it begins to shrink as it moves away. That instant of suspension is the station. And in astrology, that instant carries the most concentrated energy of the entire cycle, because movement dilutes, stillness concentrates. When Jupiter is moving, its energy is distributed across degrees, across days, across events. When Jupiter stands still, all of that energy gathers at a single point, 15 degrees Cancer, tonight. Every question Jupiter has been asking for 4 months focuses into this 1 degree, like sunlight through a lens. Tomorrow, the river starts flowing again, and the current will carry you forward. Today, the river is glass. And you can see all the way to the bottom. Here's what that actually looks like. If Jupiter retrograde has been a season of internal questioning about home, belonging, and emotional foundation, the station is the moment the questioning resolves into knowing. Not a complete answer, a clear direction. The fog of, I don't know where I belong, becomes, I know which direction belonging is in. The confusion of, I don't know what I need, becomes, I know the shape of what I need, even if I cannot yet name it. Stations crystallize. They do not answer every question. They answer the first one. And the first answer is always enough to begin. Sit with that for a moment. The clarity Mercury gave you on Friday in the cazimi, the sentence you wrote, Jupiter is about to put wind behind it. This is the connection most people will not see. The cazimi and the Jupiter station are 2 days apart. That is not a coincidence. That is a relay. Mercury handed you the message. Jupiter is about to provide the momentum to act on it. The sentence becomes a direction. The direction becomes movement. And the movement accelerates through the next 11 days toward the Saturn-Neptune conjunction on March 20th. Let me show you the trajectory from above, because the architecture of these final 11 days before the conjunction is precise. On March 7th, Mercury cazimi delivered clarity, a sentence, a flash of knowing. On March 9th, today, Jupiter stands still and the clarity crystallizes into direction. You do not just know what you know which way to walk. On March 10th, Jupiter turns direct and the momentum returns. The river begins to flow. Over the next 10 days, as Mercury continues its retrograde through the final degrees of its journey, and Jupiter gains speed in Cancer, these two movements create a paradox that is the defining energy of mid-March. Mercury moving backward, integrating, revising, while Jupiter moves forward, expanding, accelerating. One foot on the brake, one on the gas. This is not confusion. This is calibration. Mercury ensures you do not move forward carrying the old story. Jupiter ensures you do not stay still when the new story is ready. Together they create movement that is both brave and wise. Forward motion with internal coherence. And on March 20th, everything converges. Mercury stations direct. Saturn and Neptune conjoin at 0 Aries, all on the same day. The personal clarity of the cazimi, amplified by Jupiter's forward momentum, refined by Mercury's final integrations, arrives at the doorstep of the most significant planetary alignment in 36 years. You are not drifting toward March 20th. You are being propelled. And today's stillness is the last pause before the propulsion begins. Now, Jupiter in Cancer is specific. Cancer is not just any sign. It is the sign the moon rules, the most intimate sign in the zodiac. It is the sign of the mother, the ancestor, the emotional bloodline, the kitchen table, the childhood bedroom, the feeling of being held when you were too young to hold yourself. It is the smell of a particular food that transports you to a moment of safety you forgot existed. It is the voice that said your name in a way that made you feel like the world was not too large. Jupiter, expanding through Cancer since last summer, has been expanding your relationship with all of these things, making the concept of home larger than an address. making the concept of family larger than biology, making the concept of nourishment larger than food. Some of you experience this as literal expansion, a move, a renovation, a new family member. Others experienced it as internal expansion, a realization that home was never about the building. It was about the feeling in the body when the nervous system finally lets go. The retrograde took that expansion internal. Since December, you have been digesting, processing, sitting with the expanded understanding of home and asking the harder question, now what? What do I build on this larger foundation? What does my life look like when I take this expanded sense of belonging seriously? When I stop treating home as the place I sleep and start treating it as the center of gravity my entire life orbits. Tomorrow, the answers begin to arrive, not as thoughts, as movement, as doors opening that were previously stuck, as conversations becoming possible that were previously blocked, as a sense of forward motion in the area of your life where Cancer falls in your chart. The 4-month pause is ending. What was being prepared in the dark is ready for light. Here is how the station lands for each sign. One action for the pause. Aries. Jupiter stations in your 4th house, home and roots. The expansion of your foundation reaches its turning point. Something about where you live or how you define home is about to shift forward. Your action. Stand in your home tonight and say one thing out loud about what this space needs to become. Taurus. Your 3rd house. Communication, siblings, daily exchanges. The expansion of how you speak and what you say has been internalizing since December. Tomorrow, your voice returns with new depth. Your action. The message you have been drafting in your head for months. Write the first sentence. Just the first. Gemini. Your 2nd house. Money, self-worth, resources. Jupiter has been expanding your understanding of value from the inside. Tomorrow, that expanded understanding begins to manifest externally. Your action. Name the thing you are worth that you have been afraid to claim. Say it as a fact. Cancer. Jupiter is in your 1st house. This is your station. Your identity has been expanding since last summer, and the retrograde turned that expansion into an interior renovation. You have been growing in directions that are not yet visible to the people around you. The person you were in November is not the person reading this now, even if you look the same from the outside. Tomorrow, the new you begins to move forward in the world. The expansion becomes visible. Your action. Look in the mirror. Not to judge, not to check. To meet the person who has been growing in the dark. Acknowledge them. Say, I see you. You are ready. Leo. Your 12th house. The hidden, the unconscious, the spiritual. Jupiter's expansion here has been invisible to everyone but you. Since last summer, your inner world has become vast. Dreams have been larger, more vivid, more meaningful. Intuition louder. Faith deeper but quieter. You have been holding a secret expansion that has no external proof. Tomorrow, what grew in secret begins to influence the visible. The inner becomes outer. Your action. Name one thing you know that has no evidence. One thing your body is certain of that your mind cannot justify. Trust it. Jupiter says it is real. Virgo. Your 11th house. Community, friendships, the future. Jupiter has been expanding your vision of who you want to journey with. The retrograde clarified which connections are real. Your action: reach out to one person who represents the future you choose, not with an agenda, with presence. Libra, your 10th house, career and public life. Since December, Jupiter has been expanding your professional ambition from the inside, making the vision larger than the current structure can hold. Tomorrow, the structure begins to stretch. Your action: write one sentence about what you want to be known for. Not what you are known for, what you want. Scorpio, your 9th house, beliefs, travel, philosophy. Jupiter has been expanding your worldview, and the retrograde has been testing whether the new beliefs hold weight. Tomorrow, the beliefs become convictions. Your action: name one new truth you discovered this winter. Say it with certainty. Sagittarius, Jupiter rules you. This station is deeply personal. Your 8th house is activated. Shared resources, intimacy, the invisible contracts that bind you to another person. Jupiter has been expanding your understanding of what you share and what you hold separately. The retrograde has been asking, where are you overgiving? Where are you under-receiving? The station crystallizes the answer. Your action: in one relationship, name what has changed since December. Not the events, the dynamic, the invisible shift in the balance of power, of care, of attention. Name it. That naming is the beginning of the new arrangement. Capricorn, your 7th house, partnerships. Jupiter's expansion of your relationship space has been digesting since December. Who belongs across from you has been clarifying. Tomorrow, the clarity becomes movement. Your action: tell one person what they mean to you using words you have not used before. Aquarius, your 6th house, daily routines, health, service. Jupiter has been expanding the container of your daily life, making room for more meaning in the mundane. The retrograde simplified. Tomorrow, the enriched routine begins to move forward. Your action: add one new element to your morning that feeds the soul, not just the schedule. Pisces, your 5th house, creativity, romance, play, self-expression. Jupiter's expansion here has been enormous, but invisible since December. A creative vision has been growing in the dark, like a seed beneath winter soil. A capacity for joy has been deepening beyond what you knew was possible. A romantic or creative impulse that you shelved last year has been quietly reassembling itself in the subconscious. Tomorrow it surfaces. The seed breaks ground. Your action: begin one creative act tonight. Do not finish it. Do not judge it. Do not ask whether it is good. Begin it. Write the first paragraph. Sketch the first shape. Hum the first melody. Let Jupiter carry it forward from here. The beginning is your only responsibility tonight. Tomorrow, the river starts moving again. The current will be gentle at first, barely perceptible, the way all great rivers begin at their source. But by mid-March, as Jupiter gains speed and the conjunction approaches, the current will be unmistakable. You will feel it as forward motion in areas that have been frozen since December, as doors opening that would not budge, as conversations landing that were previously deflected, as a sense deep in the body that the waiting is over and the building has begun. You are ready for this, even if it does not feel that way yet. The cazimi gave you the sentence. The feminine day gave you the softness to hold it without breaking it. And Jupiter's station is giving you the direction, not a map, a compass bearing. That is enough. You do not need to see the entire path. You need to know which way to face when you take the first step. And you know. You have known since Friday. You have known since the eclipse. You may have known since December, when Jupiter turned retrograde and the questions began. What remains is movement, and movement begins tomorrow. Sit with the stillness tonight. Feel the glass surface of the river. See what is visible at the bottom. It is the last still night for a while. From tomorrow forward, things move. And I will see you in the next one.